If the results of the recent federal election proves anything, it shows that the sentiments of Australian voters had evolved to foreground women and the environment. Many seats usually held by the major parties were toppled by independents who angled their campaigns towards integrity and climate change. What's even more interesting is that they are all female. Please subscribe to the channel, keep watching to find out more. I'm Sage for kalkinemedia. So now that the new Prime Minister Anthony Albanese, who has been in politics since 1996, and his cabinet have been sworn in, these are the new senior Labor ministers who will be holding portfolios in the Australian Parliament. As the votes are not finalised, these senior members have been sworn in on an interim basis, which may alter on the final count. Prime Minister Albanese has held the portfolios of infrastructure, environment and transport in former governments. He is now the fourth Labor leader to take the top spot of Prime Minister of Australia since World War II. He now joins the likes of Gough Whitlam, Bob Hawke and Kevin Rudd. The Deputy Prime Minister of Australia will be Richard Marles. He will also hold the portfolio of employment and has been a member of Parliament since 2007. The Foreign Minister will be Penny Wong. She is known as the first Foreign Minister to have immigrated to Australia, being born overseas. She has been an Australian Senator since 2001. And joining the ranks of Senior Minister for the newly appointed Labor Cabinet is another female, Katie Gallagher, who has held parliamentary positions since 2015. The Australian Federal Treasurer will be Jim Chalmers. He's been in the position of Shadow Treasurer since 2019 and in Parliament since 2013. There are a total of 151 seats in the Australian House of Representatives, and a 76 total minimum has to be won to form a government in Australia. The existing election has not been a landslide like that of the Rudd Labor government back in 2007, but Labor has so far won 72 seats, having enough of a majority to form a government. On Friday last week, the coalition actually held 76 seats. Many senior coalition members have lost their seats, but what's interesting is that those seats have gone to mainly independents, who are climate campaigners, and many of them are women. This makes it possible to have close to 16 independents in Parliament this year, to boost the crossbench and the swing vote. Kalia Tink and Sophia Scamps have taken the seats of North Sydney and Mackellar, and Allegra Spender has won the seat of Wentworth over Dave Sharma. Christina Keneally, former New South Wales Premier, also lost her seat of Fowler to independent Di Lee. Interestingly, in Victoria, even former Treasurer Josh Frydenberg is at risk of losing his seat of Kooyong. After Mr Morrison's resignation as leader of the Liberal Party, Mr Frydenberg was being looked at as a likely candidate for the position. The seat of Melbourne was still safely Greens, being held by the party leader, Adam Band. The Greens had a strong hold of Queensland, with the election being so close to the devastating floods that impacted the capital city just a few months earlier. However, the regional seat of Kennedy is still firmly being held by outspoken politician Bob Katter, who has won the seat over 10 consecutive elections. A real surprise came to the coalition when the seat of Curtin in Western Australia, traditionally Liberal since it formed in 1949, albeit for one 3-year term, fell to an independent, Kate Chaney. Thank you for joining us in this report. If you like the information, please let us know by liking, sharing, commenting on the video below, and subscribe to the channel. Press the bell icon, you'll be notified of the most recent videos by Kalkine. But for more articles, head to the website, it's kalkinemedia.com. My name's Sage for kalkinemedia.